I know you're awake. You hear me, don't you? You see me, don't you? The weight of me pressing down on that delicate sternum of yours. You feel it, don't you? You won't answer me. That's fine. I suppose your lips are paralyzed, just like the rest of you. Answer me in thought, then. I promise to listen. It's a bit disappointing. All I can see in your mind, whizzing by like comets in an otherwise starless sky, are thoughts consumed by fear and confusion and weariness, reeking with this human kind of intolerance. Although, I probably should have expected that. It's not your fault specifically, after all, that your kind has evolved to respond with fear in the face of unfamiliarity. I cannot blame you for being optimized for survival. In a biological oasis where cautiousness and dichotomy are awarded. You must be wondering what sort of hellspawn I am, and what I am doing here, in your personal reliquary of a space, this sealed-off little sanctuary where everything feels unmistakably your own. I've breached something so sacred and sullied it with my unwelcome presence. Or have I? I don't feel I'm unwelcome here. Almost like you wanted this to some degree. Like you've been waiting for me. Most people would prefer to never have to meet me, to shield themselves from the bad, the dark, and the inscrutable of which I am born. But some people like you, seem to have a curiosity burning in your soul that draws you into those depths which can potentially freeze your fire. You approach it like a moth to a flame, with an aching need for experience that overrides your evolutionary wiring. I like such people. It is from such people I learned what it's like to be a person. From centuries of observation, I had deduced what it meant to be a human in most senses. But to be a person was a wholly different matter. A kind person taught me language and words, this beautiful form of expression that humans have mastered. They taught me the nuances of emotions and their often subtle manifestations. I watched them die, slowly, an agonizing and cruel thing. Their mortal flesh withered away to leave behind a mere husk. It was a lifetime to them, but barely anything to me. And so, they taught me grief. I mention this separately from them teaching me emotions, because, in my experience, Grief was not an emotion, not a feeling. It was a state of being. Emotions imply impermanence, but grief is a self-renewing scar that embeds itself into every micrometer of your being. Rather than the presence of something unpleasant, it is the absence of something important, something holy. I learned that lack could be painful. The hollow, lonely emptiness I regard as my birthplace and home felt so unfamiliar in that context. It should be what I am used to, I thought to myself. Then why does it feel this way? Am I boring you with my sob story on the horrors of immortality and connection? Perhaps I should focus on you, on us tonight. Those white, gleaming pearls, branded with their own unique iris patterns, lodged in your skull. Those pretty, shaking things you call eyes. They're always bouncing around so quickly, so restlessly with their little shakes. Saccades, as they're called, always tracking all information light is able to provide you about your surroundings. Although, I'd say it's rather insufficient. Of all the radiation there is to see from in the universe, your eyes show you only a minuscule fraction, so much hidden away within the voracious stomach of the void. Your eyes are the only thing that can move now, right? I can feel their gaze roaming over me. The way your pupils dilate, the way your irises shake in place and stare right at me, trying to perceive me. What is your perception of me? Does your mind portray me as an amalgamation of cliched horror movie tropes? Do I have horns and fangs and claws that seem like they could rip apart your flesh without the slightest exertion? Or perhaps I have ghostly skin and long curtains of hair or cloth, or something else shrouding my figure and by extension, my intentions. I don't like that idea of being perceived differently by every person, of being perceived on the basis of something as flimsy as fear. I want to be seen for what I am, who I am. But I suppose there's a flaw in that way of thinking, too. It assumes there's a single true self to every being, an elegant, neat idea that's completely desecrated by the chaotic, multifaceted, and turbulent nature of selfhood. Maybe what I really am is a mosaic of every interpretation of me. Maybe I should be grateful for being perceived at all, rather than curse a lifetime of invisibility along with the pre-existing infinity of it. I'm talking about myself again. How rude of me not to ask for your thoughts. I can see your mind racing now with so many thoughts. Well, it's better than the barrage of unpleasant emotions from before. Your stiff body prickling with goosebumps underneath me whilst you wonder about your unfortunate circumstance, about how this pressure on your chest is pushing you into your bed and holding you there while whispering in your ear all sorts of useless bullshit. Well, as long as you're paralyzed, I can have a field day with this. You have such delicate skin, so soft, so smooth, so easy to tear open. I could peel it like an orange. Would the flesh inside be just as tender and sweet? Perhaps that is the level of intimacy I desire. Bloody and completely trusting. I don't mean to scare you. Aren't I a figment of your imagination? Therefore, whatever I'm saying must be a manifestation of your own thoughts, right? Maybe this is just your fantasy talking through my mouth. What's this now? Are you feeling shy? I can see that beautiful skin of yours is being dusted with a rosy glow now, as your blood circulates more fervently through the intricate vessels in your face. I believe that signifies embarrassment, or perhaps indignation. Are my words offensive? If they are, well then, you must like being offended since, as I said, you are the one imagining this after all. Alright, I'll stop. I was never much of a funny sort. But I do try. Are you curious, perhaps, of the nature of my existence? Whether I am really just a manifestation of your subconscious, or something more? What a perfunctory question that is. Of course you're curious. I can practically see the inquisitive stars in your eyes glowing through the delicate curtain of flesh covering them. I am, at the end of the day, or perhaps I should say night, whatever you believe me to be. But I will introduce myself as well as I know how. I am a being that lurks in the forgotten, imperceptible corners of the universe that to humans are accessible exclusively through your subconscious. This nature may lead you to believe my existence to be of something fake. I am largely free of the burden of having to maintain a corporeal form, but I can take one if I do wish. I am largely free of the burden of having to maintain a corporeal form, but can take one if I wish to do so. Would you like that, I wonder, little human? I doubt I will ever do that again, though. A physical form is vulnerable and tight in a way that I'm not used to. For a being sculpted out of smoke and shadow, a physical form is compression. The first time I tried it, it felt something like this. I began as pure density, everywhere and nowhere at once, utterly alone, yet completely free. When I forced myself into a body, my awareness, which was originally everywhere at once, was suddenly forced through a single point, like an ocean remembering itself as a droplet. There were edges now, boundaries, a surface that divides inside from outside, a distinction that never existed before and immediately felt like a mistake. I surmised that bodies, however beautiful they are simply too restrictive and uncomfortable. But at the same time, my lack of a body is what forces me to infiltrate your mind like this, to attain any semblance of connection. Between me and others who may be able to understand me, there is nothing to bridge the distance. I exist adjacent to others, overlapping their world without ever quite touching it. I try sometimes to get close. I lean into conversations, press myself against the edges of sound and thought, but there's simply no interface anymore. No vocal cords to vibrate, no face to signal intent, no eyes to meet another's. People pass through my awareness like ghosts, except they're the ones that are actually alive. Loneliness, I learned, is not absence, but rather inaccessibility. Maybe I was once human. Maybe that is why I feel lonely. Why I desire a body when it feels like the most vile prison. Why I despair when my efforts to reach out end up being futile. Do you feel that way too? As if no matter how you reshape yourself to sate your thirst for connection, it feels fundamentally wrong. I watch you sometimes. I see the way you hesitate before speaking, the way you rehearse conversations, the way you edit yourself down so you fit more easily into meeting other people's expectations. Reshaping. Does it work? Does it ever feel right when you finally land on a version of yourself that gets a response? When someone smiles or stays or doesn't pull away? Or does it feel like something wearing something that almost fits, good enough to pass but never quite comfortable? I used to think connection meant being seen clearly. Now, I've grown even more idealistic, more precise, more demanding. I've refined the definition until almost nothing qualifies. Because if nothing qualifies, then I don't have to admit I'm the one refusing it. Now, I think connection means not needing to be seen at all. Do you understand what I mean? Maybe it's wishful thinking on my part, but I feel like you can understand me in your own way. And because I know how tiring this can be, I wish to dampen the pain it may be causing you in any way I can. Maybe offer you advice in which I know to be true and effective, yet which I myself have failed to practice. Maybe I could do that. But I think it would mean more to simply stay here with you a little while longer, until I convince myself to crawl out of my shell for your sake, and for you to do the same.
Hello, my loves. I think... Sorry, I just completely lost my sentence there for a second. I completely lost it. It's gone. It is completely gone. I have no clue what I'm saying right now. What was I going to say? Fuck. Shit. I'm gonna restart. Hello, my loves. How have you been? How have you been? You guys better be so fucking happy I don't edit these fucking outros. Jesus fucking Christ. Anyway. You better be happy that I don't edit these out. I'm gonna quickly thank my patrons. I want to go ahead and thank Ecoterrorist Thought, Crazy Cat, Demetrius1610, Mr. Midnight, Knock on Wood, Shushelchin, Slagar1985, and Avery G. Thank you so much for the support. I thank you. Just thank you. I from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I appreciate it. I went with a sort of different kind of vibe with this one. Also, I don't know if you can hear me switch the microphone in and out of my hand. This is a microphone I have to hold, which is probably not the best idea, but fucking whatever. It's not your channel, it's mine. I do it how I want to. So I'm sitting in my recording closet, surrounded by my cushioning, I suppose. I don't know if you can hear this. I'm gonna can you hear? I don't know if you can hear that, but that's my cushioning, which you guys paid for. Thanks. Thank you. It's a very, very, very much appreciated. However, it does not, while it insulates my noise, it does not insulate the noise coming from my other roommates' rooms. So I don't know if you could hear a couple I guess whispers in the background. I'll do the best I can to shut out all the leftover noise, which I think I do a pretty good job at, so it's not something I struggle to do, and something that you guys have noticed. I don't think you guys have noticed, at least if you haven't said anything. But yeah, I decided to go with something a bit different today. I went with a more ASMR type thing, with more of a whispery type tone, you know. The tapping and the other bullshit. If you could hear that, you definitely could hear the insulation. But yeah, I think I want to go ahead and announce something, a little tiny announcement. I want to go click over to my YouTube right here on my computer. I want to say that I have a little something planned for when we reach 10K, because we are really close. We are insanely close to 10K on YouTube. Right now, we are at 7.43K, 7,430 something subscribers. Holy shit. We are almost at 10K. That is a shitload of people. Do you know how many that is? I'm gonna, hold on. how many people can be seated at Levi's Stadium. Levi's Stadium is one of the bigger ones. Approximately 68,500. We're almost at like a tenth of a sixth. I'm gonna do the math on that actually real quick. We're almost at. Hold on, I'm doing the math. 68,500 divided by 10. Okay. We are at that would be at a sixth. I was right. We would be at a sixth of Levi's Stadium, which is fucking crazy. Dude, what the fuck? it's for the Super Bowl. It's like major world events like Super Bowl, FIFA. I don't know, sports people. I don't know. I tried picking something that most people would know. I don't know it. That's why I had to look it up. Sorry, I'm just kind of rambling here. It's 11:32 p.m. and I am pretty tired, and so I'm just gonna end this in a minute and then send it off to my own inbox so I can sort of just, edit it tomorrow and then set it out on Wednesday. Let's try and aim to put it out on Patreon on Wednesday and then get it out Thursday. Yeah, that sounds good. Let's do that. I love how I'm like sort of just planning out uploading schedules and you have no clue because this video isn't even out yet. And nor will you know that this video is even being made until it's out. So, ha 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 ha. That's stupid. Anyway, I'm done being silly. I'm pretty tired, and I have work in the morning at. I really should double check these things. I have work in the morning, at 9:15. God fucking kill me. Although it's not going to be as bad as my Wednesday shift, which is 9. Which I know isn't really that bad of a shift, but considering that I have classes on both of those days as well, kind of sucks. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. And yeah, I hope you guys will have enjoyed this one. I love all of you. Bye-bye. Mwah.